North Carolina quarterback Drake May picks up right where he left off in 2022 by being named the preseason ACC Player of the Year. Tez Walker and Cedric Gray were named to the first team All-ACC team, and it was announced as the Heels were in the middle of day one of training camp. We'll talk about it in this one. Bring it in. Let's huddle up.
You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation and my fellow college football family, minus obviously NC State and Duke? Welcome to the Tar Heel Huddle. I am your host, Russ, and in this episode, we're going to discuss the recent announcement of 3 Tar Heels that made the preseason All-ACC team, along with one who was named the preseason ACC Player of the Year. Now, we'll start off by talking about redshirt sophomore Drake May, who was named the preseason Player of the Year, and he was announced to the first team All-ACC team. Let's not forget that Drake was also named the 2022 ACC Player of the Year, the Offensive Player of the Year, the Rookie of the Year, and the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Drake was only the second player in the history of the Atlantic Coast Conference to rack up all of the above listed awards. The only other player to do that was Jameis Winston back in 2013. Now, May topped the balloting with 88 first-place votes after a 22 season that showed him complete 66.2% of his passes for a whopping 4,321 yards and 38 touchdowns to only 7 interceptions. He also rushed for 698 yards and had 7 touchdowns on the ground as well. Now, Drake took the nation by storm last year by replacing Sam Howell, who was drafted by the NFL's Washington Commanders and led the Tar Heels to a starting 9-1 record, Heisman Trophy dark horse, possible national title contenders before the wheels fell off. So, with a year under his belt, May will look to lead the Heels to unprecedented heights in what is likely his last year in Chapel Hill. Now, UNC linebacker Cedric Gray received 109 votes himself after a 22 season that saw him as one of the only bright spots on an absolutely abysmal defense that ranked 116th out of 131 teams in total defense in the entire country. Ced had 144 tackles, 82 solo. He had 1 sack, 6 passes defended, 2 INTs, 3 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. Now, the thing about Cedric Stinking Gray, baby, is that he is an absolute magnet to the football, and he takes terrific angles to the ball carrier. One thing that I want to see, though, is how the increased push from the defensive line enables Ced to play more downhill opposed to constantly scraping across the front. Should it be another big year for the senior from Charlotte? Now, the other person that I want to talk about is newcomer Tez Walker, who also was named to the preseason All-ACC team as a wide receiver. Tez, as he is called, is a transfer from Kent State, and by all accounts, he has been absolutely stinking phenomenal since joining the team. Now Tez completed his 22 campaign by catching 58 passes for 921 yards, 11 touchdowns at a 15.9 yards per reception clip. Now, Tez had touchdown catches against Washington and Georgia, so if you were thinking, oh man, he's going to get up here to the ACC and get wide-eyed, nah fam, he's going to be just like he was against the Bulldogs, against the Huskies. He's going to be a touchdown machine, watch. And you're going to see when he lines up against South Carolina on September 2nd. So we'll see if the honorees can live up to the preseason hype. 3 of them, baby. Drake May, All-ACC, preseason Player of the Year, right after a 22 year where he was the Player of the Year in the ACC. And then you got Cedric Gray and you got Tez Walker, who also received first-team ballots for the All-ACC team. It's going to be a special year at Tar Heel Nation. I'm telling you right now, man, buckle up your seatbelts because this is going to be a year to remember for the Heels. So, hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe to this content. There'll be plenty more, and we will catch you on the next one, Tar Heel Nation.